coming to the stage is one of the up-and-coming, funniest comedians that we got in Charlotte, y'all. She's only 9 months in the game, but you can't even tell.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Charlotte Comedians Getting Coffee in Charlotte. My name is Nicole. I'm a local comedian here in Charlotte, hanging out with all of my wonderful, funny friends, talking about how we got started doing comedy and what we're working on. So today we are at Archive Charlotte. I've got with me my wonderful friend Kieshon. So Kieshon is a local comedian, also content creator, also wonderkind, because you are a baby person that has just started doing comedy and is already brilliantly talented. Thank you so much for joining me. And I ask you, how long have you been doing stand-up?
I just hit 9 months.
9 months?
Yeah, so July 2nd, it'll be 10 months.
Do you remember your first open mic?
I don't really count my first open mic because it really wasn't nobody there.
I mean, there's never anybody usually in open mics, except for now with Starlight, because of you.
I count Starlight as my first. I went on second to last, but I was able to make the people that was there laugh real hard. And Kayla Candy told me after that, she was like, I'm gonna make sure I put you in front of a crowd next time, so don't worry about it. And
Kayla's one of those, she's got a really good eye for that. Especially Kayla Candy being the host of Starlight.
And my mentor.
And your mentor. She is one of my great friends. I adore her, but she hosts the most popular open mic in Charlotte. And also she sees so many local comedians week after week. So if she goes out of her way to tell you like, you got it, kid. Like, that's huge. How often have you been going to the mics and practicing?
So I try to go every Tuesday. Sometimes I have to work, so I can't go Tuesday nights. But whenever I can, I make sure I go.
Yeah, and do you typically go to Starlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only one I go to.
That's
I haven't really went to any others. I wanted to try more. I actually met a comedian named Gravedigger. He has an open mic in Durham called Blue Notes. And that was one of, like, when I was looking up open mics, that was one of the ones I saw. So I actually am gonna go to that one.
Okay.
But right now it's just Starlight.
Right. Cool thing is, at this point in the Charlotte comedy scene, we've got a mic every night of the week, it seems. Sometimes a couple different ones the same day, and that's really cool. When I first started, it felt like there was only like 2 or 3 a week, so it felt like Starlight line was way longer when I started. It's starting to get crazy long.
Because like when I first started, it really wasn't that many people. Like, I'll probably say like at most 30, but now it's like getting to like 50.
I know. It's a long night for Kayla.
Yeah.
God bless her. I don't know how she's doing it too. That's crazy. I typically would try to go to Starlight starting out, and then like work schedule wise, it got hard for me too. So I just try to get him in where I can, but I try to go every week somewhere. What are your takeaways from Starlight as a mic? How do you feel about it?
I love Starlight. You really get to interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
But I tell a lot of stories, so a lot of times I'm not like really doing crowd work.
Sure.
But as I'm like telling my story, I can look around and I can tell like, hey, I really got their attention, depending on like how I'm going. And then there's sometimes where it's like a super new joke, and it's like, we like you, but you gotta work on it a little bit.
Yes. But Starlight's one of those unique mics because it has pretty consistently like a regular audience, where it seems like a lot of the other mics you'll go to, you'll see mostly same faces, your comedian friends, and they've heard your stuff a lot, so they're not going to react the way that is going to be super helpful for you. So yeah, I think Starlight's a great place to test out new material, and it can be sometimes a tough room because you have like a real audience. But every time I've seen you kill in that room. You kill in that room.
Thank you.
The storytelling in your set and stuff is always so well paced. I think I've told you, like, I love how comfortable you are with like pausing and silence and timing, instead of just, because when I first started, my instinct was to just run through my stuff. But you are really calm on the mic. And
a lot of people tell me that.
Yeah.
You just talk through it. And, Loic said that I sound like a poet because I just stand up there and
deliver.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good way to put it, definitely. What is like your writing routine, or how do you work on like coming up with new material?
So I'm kind of different. So like I might be at work or just at home just doing whatever, and like the most craziest line will pop up in my head.
Right.
And from there, I'll record myself, because I wasn't doing it at first, but I can create a whole story off of there, but I have to say it out loud.
Okay.
I can't do it in my head. I would have to. And from there, I just build on it. And then after that, I'll go and I'll write it. And I go through like 3 different stages. So the first one would be like an outline, the story, me telling it, and then I'll narrow it down to like about like maybe 4 minutes. And then I'll read what I have, whatever is like just dragging too much, if I'm repeating the same thing over and over, or if it's like just stretching it, I'll take it out.
Right.
And then I got a book full of like one-liners, so I'll go through that reading and be like, oh, I can add this here, or I can add that.
That's a good practice to have like a back pocket of just like extra, like confetti.
I started doing one-liner jokes too, like fillers, because I had one night I went to do this, probably like 3 weeks ago. I went to go do a new joke, and I got up on stage, and within like 30 seconds, I went from being at the beginning of my joke to the end of my joke. And I didn't know how to come back from that. And so I just got off stage, and everybody was like, no, you never get off stage. And I was like, but I don't, you know, if I miss like 2 lines, I basically messed myself up.
Interesting.
But Ray Food told me, he was like, make sure you have a filler or something that you can use, that you can always like grab everybody's attention back in, or even if you need to switch to a joke that you know that works, do that.
Yeah, you have a good circle of like mentors and like good influences in the comedy community. I love Ray. I think
I love all of them.
Yeah, Ray, Loic, Dawn, Kayla. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you found them and they have like taken you under their wing, because all of them are just brilliant in their own right and stuff too. So you're in great hands. If there's anything in particular that you find like very unusually funny all the time, like for example, for me, if people mispronounce a word but like really confidently, like I laugh uncontrollably and I don't know why. My dad has a thing where if people fall down in a really comical way, he can't be cool about it.
I think like awkwardness, if it's the right, like if it's not too cringe.
It's a fine line.
But like, there's only certain people who can pull it off.
Right.
Like,
yes.
But yeah, I'll say it like awkwardness.
Awkwardness.
Like, kind of like Napoleon Dynamite. But
did you always know that you wanted to do stand-up?
I'll say I've always been funny. I was more of a like quieter kid, like when I was really young, and then I'll say like around 2nd to 3rd grade, that's when I started to come more out of my shell and just be like, I was a little bad kid back then, so. And I was also like really skinny, so I had to defend myself in certain ways. And we had like theater, so I was in musicals and stuff. And then from there, whenever we would do monologues or we would have to write like slam poetry and stuff, everybody would like take the serious route or make it like emotional or sad and stuff. And I would always choose to make it funny because I knew that was what everybody was gonna do.
Right.
And so from there, it was like, you should do stand-up. And then when I went to college, I was like, I think I might, because I was a radio DJ and stuff. Like, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I did that for like 3 years. And then I was like engineering for like the musicians on campus and stuff. So.
All right, so you've always been like a little creative kid?
Probably wanted to do like acting more than comedy. But
yeah, you do have a very natural stage presence. I think that the theater training and stuff really helps too. Present very confident, but not in like a cocky way. And also the radio DJ bit obviously surely helps with telling a story, not spazzing out and stumbling over your words like I'm doing now.
But see, then I get conflicted sometimes to where it's like, I know I can do more and I want to add more, but I don't want it to be like extra or like unnatural. So many comedians tell me like, you should start adding expressions and like acting out your stories, because then like I'm pretty sure to hit, and I'm like, that I feel like it would hit too. So I'm trying to figure that out too.
I'm sure that's just gonna come more with time and getting more like comfortable on stage, and like, you know, you get to a point where you feel okay with experimenting. Someone told me recently that like a joke is kind of never finished in a way, because it's like you'll always like play with ad-libbing or delivery or expressions and stuff, and you're never gonna have a shortage of stage time, so you'll always be able to like play with it more, especially being not even a year in. You're phenomenal. Like, and I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm so glad that you are a part of the scene, not just because you are so talented, you're also so young, but you're also a woman. And as we've both kind of noticed, there doesn't seem to be as many women in comedy. It seems like it ebbs and flows, right? Where it seems like sometimes you see more women, and then sometimes they kind of retreat again. Why do you think that is?
You could kind of compare it to like music, because if you think like rappers, it's way more male rappers than it is female rappers. So if you kind of compare it, you can also like use that with the storytelling and how you tell jokes, how people have their different styles and stuff. So you may have female comedians who feel like in order to be around certain male comedians and stuff, they have to be more raunchy or tell a bunch of sexual jokes or, make themselves a character instead of just
being themselves.
telling your jokes. Some guys, they know people, and it's easier for them to like help each other out before they help us out.
Yeah, true.
So sometimes they probably just, look like
Drive.
Yeah, motivation and even keep going.
It's a shame too, because all the women that I've seen go up, so many of them work really hard on the writing and the timing, and they'll know their stuff verbatim, word for word, just practice it super hard and still be like, I don't know, maybe I'm not ready. And I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah, they be really, and then especially if you're gonna start like, you'll be like, hey, like 3 girls went up, and then the rest of the list is only men.
You remember that time we went to that one, and that guy was like, I don't like old people or fat people, and I think he straight up quote, who are you? And I was like, ma'am, stop. I kind of want to talk a little bit about maybe like your comedy influences, because you have a very unique sense of humor, and you do have this like quiet, this very quiet, observational, like intelligent vibe. Like all of your jokes are so smart and very clever. Is there like a comedian that you watched a lot growing up, or people that you really just kind of gravitate towards even now?
So all the comedians I watch are like the complete opposite.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Sometimes there's a few where I'm like, yeah, I like them. I don't know why. I just do.
So my favorite would be Martin Lawrence.
Interesting.
And then I would say Bernie Mac, Monique. There's a lady named Barbara Carlisle. She's super funny. So the first time I ever saw stand-up, I was little, and my mom had a VHS, like a bunch of VHS tapes and a VCR, and she had Def Comedy Jam. So should I have been watching that? No. Yeah. But we watched it, and Barbara Carlisle was one of the main ones who got up on stage. And she's older, so when you see her, it's like, who grandma, who aunt is? But yeah, she was able to convince the crowd and make them laugh, and I just like all that.
With comedy, what I love about it is it does feel like it's like you're always gonna find something funny to talk about. If you're 20, you're 30, you're 40, you're 60, whatever. Like it's not as limiting as some other art forms can be,
Because you could make a joke out of everything.
Everything.
You can, even if you had a funeral, you can make a joke.
Yeah, and sometimes that's how people cope sometimes. Like absolutely.
What they gonna do? They gonna get up? You can make a joke. There's a joke out of everything. You just have to make it tasteful.
Yes.
To where everybody. I think that's also like my thing is I want everybody to be able to watch me and to be able to understand me and comprehend what I'm saying. Because a lot of times, comedians, they do go more the explicit route, and like watching Kevin Hart, his Let Me Explain came out, I was in like 7th or 8th grade. And my mom, there was certain parts, she was like, get out. Like you're not supposed to be listening.
Yeah.
So I just want everybody to just be able to sit and listen to me. So
yeah, and I like that inclusive strategy because it makes you so much more bookable in that way, because it's not necessarily that you're like a clean comic, meaning like you swear, but like you don't, like it's not the whole thing. It's
not vulgar at all.
Yes, your actual material is not like vulgar.
Yeah, if I am gonna swear, it's probably gonna be like once, and it's gonna be.
And it's not even gonna be an F-bomb. Yeah, it's usually gonna be like something that like a 13-year-old would say, and it wouldn't be like that big of a deal. Like, which is smart. And also, I appreciate like the note of wanting everybody to be able to watch it and understand, because I do feel like sometimes a lot of comedians will go that shock value route. Like, I'm just gonna say stuff, and if you don't like it,
it's not funny. They just, it's easier to go viral with the shock value. It's not.
That's where you realize, like, a lot of comedians, success is subjective, you know, where it's like, to them, if they're like, if they cringed, I won. And it's like, some people are like,
That's that ego, though.
yeah, exactly. And so,
If you have to offend people, you aren't funny. That's how I know. You never know how someone is feeling. So they could be like, oh, I'm coming to an open mic. I just want to, blow out some steam or something. You say something and you offend them, and then you think you're going to walk outside and then they hit you or something like that. So or they may end themselves or something. You never know how someone's feeling. So
right.
you have to kind of like,
Yeah, you got to be mindful. Yeah, you never know what somebody's going through. And most of the time people aren't going to a mic to go like, I want to feel bad about myself.
Most people come to comedy to laugh,
right.
to feel good, not
yeah.
to,
yeah.
not to feel uncomfortable or to, be offended by it.
Totally. One of my favorite compliments I ever got in a show, it was an improv show, not a stand-up one, but it was an improv show, and this guy came up to me afterwards and he said, I just had a hip surgery and I've been stuck in the house for weeks. It's my first time out and I really needed a laugh, so thanks for that. And I remember it stuck with me so much, the whole like, I really needed this. Those kinds of compliments always feel so good. Do you have any compliments that people have given you that really stick out to you?
Recently, I went to like a comedian cookout. It was Tito. I don't know if you know.
I don't think so.
He's an older comedian, and Juwan Cap was there. And my first show I did with Juwan Cap, and we were all like just talking. And he was like, "Yeah, I remember you. We did the show in October." And I was telling him, I was like, "Yeah." I was like only almost a month in at the time. Yeah, I wasn't even 2 months. And he was like, that's crazy. I thought you've been doing this way longer to know that you were like on a show.
Yeah.
Like within a month. Like you're light years ahead of me.
Truly.
I'll say that. Also, Don told me, he was like, because I'm kind of clean, I can get booked anywhere. For me, that was like, I like that because I can be at a church.
Right, or like a cruise or like a college campus. That was another route that like, I ran into a comedian who told me he got on this college circuit. So I guess there's these like sort of auditions or something that we could sign up to do. And basically you would do like a set in front of like a group of people that kind of book talent for different community colleges or local universities as well. Some are really big as well. And I think it's something to do with like regions. It might be like a Southeast colleges. They need comedy. And so he said like, he got put on that and it was like good steady work for him. And I was like, oh, that's smart. Because the cruise ship route scares me personally.
I don't want to be on water. I don't really want to be in the air either. So
Me neither. I've seen Titanic, I'm okay. It's too much.
That most definitely helped like expand your audience and have more people like,
yes.
Oh, I want to go see her somewhere else.
Yeah. So at this point in your comedy journey, how would you like to expand your exposure a little bit to different audiences? Are you thinking about like maybe festivals or competitions or anything like that?
So I performed at the Kannapolis Jazz Festival.
How was that?
That was amazing.
How long was the set again?
So this set, it was 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then I performed on Valentine's Day this year as well, and that one was 10 minutes. But it's jazz. So
Yeah, true.
I didn't really come to laugh. I would say that one was like a big like booster for me.
Yeah, bigger audience.
And they're older too, so it's like as they're leaving and stuff, they'll speak to you and be like, keep going, like you were super funny, I want to see you again.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I would do the competitions.
Yeah.
I don't really see myself being like a competition type person.
I don't love the competition circuit, but I think in a way it's a good way to like network.
The first time I had a show, I went to the club and the guy was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm the comedian here.
Don't you love it? Doesn't it feel like a superpower? Don't you just feel like you're like, I'm Spider-Man?
Like, I'm talent. He was like, no, you're not. And I was like, I promise, I'll pull it up on Instagram.
I'm supposed to be here.
I feel like I immediately get everybody's attention because it's like, oh, we didn't know she was a comedian. What's she about to say? So.
Also, because you're pretty quiet when you get up on stage. As soon as you get up, you're kind of like, you just kind of stand there for a second to kind of like get everyone's eye contact. And then you're like, okay. Like, instead of being like, hi guys, how you doing?
Plus, I don't really like asking the crowd how they doing. That's just me.
Okay.
Like, especially if you like doing an open mic,
Right.
you going behind a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how many guys? Did you not hear how we was doing
Yeah.
before?
So here you're doing good. Great.
When I get up on stage, I just, before I do anything, I'll, set the mic if there is a stand, but I always ask, like, can y'all hear me? Usually everyone's gonna respond. You're gonna get a response out of that. Sometimes if they don't respond, I'll be like, okay, clearly, can y'all hear me again? Just to get, and then they'll like either chuckle or laugh or something.
You naturally kind of speak soft. So in a way, I feel like it's a way to kind of go like, can you hear me? And everyone's like, oh yeah. Because also instinctively, everyone will like lean in a little bit more and be like, oh, I want to make sure I hear this. Which helps like hook them in for your storytelling stuff. Because like you take them on this like really, really fun journey, but like you're not like bombastic about it, which is crazy. Like you don't have to scream to get the attention. Does that make sense? I feel you on the competition thing. Competitions and roast battles stress me out sometimes because like not super competitive and I'm a sensitive baby, so like roasts stress me out.
I could do a roast.
Oh, I bet you could. I bet you could. I think there's a lot more of those coming up these days in Charlotte, I'm noticing. So we need to maybe get you on a circuit of those. I think you need to teach some dudes a things or two.
Yeah, I can do that. Honestly, I could see me doing it. Would it be something that I would like always do? No, but I can see me just doing it one time, having a good, having a good night, being remembered, and then not doing it anymore.
Right, just disappearing into the shadows. I love it.
So then it's like, oh, I'm gonna get her next time. It's like, no, you're not, because I'm not doing it.
You'll never see me again. Yeah, amazing. So aside from doing comedy, I remember we were talking at one point about you working on a video project with another one of your friends, Quiz.
Harris. So we want to start branching off into doing something with more comedians. It's called Laugh More. So it's going behind the scenes. So maybe what you do within your day. It's like a vlog. So like we'll follow them the whole day, get their show routine and everything. Then we'll also record their set. And like maybe, if they have like after the show, if they talk with the other comedians, we can get that in there and we can do an interview with them as well. I think that'll help out a lot and it can get a lot more attention on, because it's a lot of comedians in Charlotte.
So many. I've lost count.
There's a lot that need the attention on them, and it could help a lot of people. So I would like to do stuff like that.
I love that. I love how community-minded you and Aquarius are in that sense, because you guys are like, well, there's a lot of people that like could use that exposure. What I love about our Charlotte community is how many of us are like, oh yeah, I'll jump on that.
Yeah,
like
easily. They don't care.
Yeah, like they're gladly like, oh dude, you're doing a creative thing? I'm in. Let's do it. I was nervous about this series even because I was worried people were gonna be like, ew, why? But anytime I've asked someone, they're like, okay, yeah, and I'm like, great.
I feel like, especially like if you don't have a lot of social media,
right?
If you have like at least an interview or something, if someone goes to your page, it's like, oh, okay, they're not just no random comedian.
Right.
Actually, so I feel like that would actually help a lot of people.
We have a large comedy community, but we also have like it's still one where we all know each other. It's not like I have no idea who's in the scene anymore. It's like, we see each other every week and, we try to collaborate and there's writing groups and all these things.
Yeah, and they also like patch your name on to people could even make you bigger than you are. So I like that as well. Kayla Kennedy, she put my name in a bunch of people's ears.
She put your name on my series too.
Yeah, I saw that. I replayed it a bunch of times.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I think the first time I saw you, I made a beeline to Kayla and it was like,
what was I wearing? Do you remember? Did I have 4 puffs or just one?
One?
One? Okay, so that was a little bit.
Yeah, a little while ago. But I remember going up to her and I was like, girl. And she was like, girl. And I was like, she's gonna be a problem. She was like, I know. So yeah, she sings your praises all the time.
Yeah, she gave me my first 20-minute set. And that one was amazing because if you would have saw me before, like I was nervous the whole time. I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody.
You never present as nervous.
That's crazy because I only had one show where I wasn't nervous.
Really?
And I just walked on stage. And I was like, yeah, y'all gonna laugh.
Is it like the nerves, like when you're on a roller coaster and you're about to like do the first drop kind of nervous, or is it the kind that's like, I don't know if the ground's gonna fall under my feet?
I think I'll say the roller coaster.
Like, because it's like excited?
Yeah, and then it's like, as soon as she calls my name and I get up on stage, it's like,
You're
I'm
fine.
not nervous no more.
But
20-minute set, the candy coated comedy, that one, I have recently, so I had my set done, and then at last minute I decided to write a joke like an hour before I came. And so from there it was like, okay, you have to remember this. Not only do you have to remember the joke you just wrote, you have to remember the whole set. So I got to start like an hour and a half before I was supposed to be there, and I was in my car just the whole time,
running through it.
Over and over this.
Yeah.
And then I'm in the bag and I'm meeting everybody, Pat Brown and LA Red, and I'm just like, okay, y'all are distracting me. Everybody's like, hi, nice to meet you, and I'm like, okay. But I got up on stage, they laughed through the whole set, so it was, for me, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you record that one?
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
I'm going to link it in the description just so you guys know. Yeah, no, the first time you do a 20-minute set and you like land that plane, like nothing like it.
I got off stage, I was like, yeah, I can go to the mall and buy like the whole store. That's how I'm feeling. I didn't do that, but
Good, that's fair.
I felt so, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this.
Good. You should. You absolutely should. What would you say is like your goal for 2026 comedy-wise?
To be in a movie.
Okay, you want to be
to have my own TV show. I just probably got the network properly, but before this year, I'm gonna be on somebody's TV, somebody's movie.
I love it. Is there anybody in the Charlotte comedy community that you feel like is doing really great stuff or has grown a lot since you started, or someone you've been following a little bit?
I'll say a Quest, Anna Rose. She started probably like 2 months after me, but she's like, from when she first started, you can see her like, she's phenomenal now. Like, she's still growing and she's getting more comfortable, but it's like, you got it. Great fool. Every time he gets on stage, he's hilarious on and off the stage.
He is.
Caleb and Don, just the people I'm around, really.
Yeah. If somebody came up to you and was like, hey, I've always wanted to do stand-up, but I'm nervous, like what advice would you give to somebody that's always wanted to do it?
Be prepared. When I first started, I had told my friends and stuff, and it was like, oh, well, I'm naturally funny, I should try and get up on stage. And I'm like, like, you gonna realize when you stand in front of the mic, it's like that naturalness is not gonna cut it unless you really are really like that. But I would just say be prepared.
If you could talk to Kieshon at her very first open mic about to go up, what would you tell her?
Honestly, like where I started at is going to be completely different from when I hit 1 year in a couple of months.
Yeah, your growth has been astounding. It's been phenomenal. I'm so proud to see what you've accomplished, man. I can't wait to see what comes next, really. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it so much. Please make sure to follow Kieshon. She is going to be doing amazing things. And please make sure to like and subscribe because I'll have new videos dropping every week. Okay, bye.